All right, I'm going to walk you through how to assemble all your different parts for your automaton. And I'm going to be stopping and starting the video in various places because I'm not going to go through all the process. I'm going to show you things one at a time. Stop, go ahead and do those different, perform those different constraints, and then stop, do some other constraints, but not have you watch the video while I'm doing that, just because there's no need to. So the first thing I want to point out is that remember that when you're putting these parts together, you can, if you select the part, it will bring up this dialog where you can rotate it into the position you want it to be. So for example, I want this particular part to be rotated 90 degrees in this direction, so I can grab that arm. And if I let go of it, it gives me a dialog where I can type in my degrees. I want this to be 90, press enter. And then I can click off of it and it goes away. Click back on the part, and now I need to rotate it in this direction, 90 degrees. Okay, and now I'm going to be able to do my constraint. So in order to constrain this, I've already done this, I'm just kind of reviewing. In order to constrain this, what we have to do is we have to, is that the, oh, I've got this, I've got to change this one as well. Let's see, what am I doing? Other side. Okay, this is the bottom. I need to rotate this. This is the front. Yeah, I need to rotate this again. So let me rotate this one again this way, because this is the way that I want it. Sorry about that. All right, so now once I have this part to constrain it, I'm going to use up here, these are my constraints right here. We're going to be using some different ones for different situation. So the first one we're going to do is this one right here. This is just plain old made constraint, planar made constraint. And I'm going to zoom in, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to zoom in on this face here. Right here in the middle. I'll rotate it over here, and I'm going to select this face right here. Not the line. Make sure you're not on the line part. You know, it won't really matter, I guess. Come on. Okay. And did it do what I wanted? Yes, it did. I'll apply it. And then you're going to continue to do that to constrain surfaces and edges. So for example, let's say that I want this face here to constrain with this face in here. So I'll do it again. My planar face here. With this rotated around with this face right here. Make sure I got the right face. Sure that's right. Yeah, I think it is. Was that right? Can I move this one over? Yeah. And I can go ahead and finish that off with one more right here. Here. I said I was going to turn off the video, and here I'm not turning it off. But I think some of you might want to see this. Okay, so now I've got my part completely constrained. Notice that when I grab the part to move it, the whole thing moves. I want to ground one of those, so I'm going to fix this one. And the way we fix this is by selecting the right-clicking and select Fix. It's the same as grounded. And now if I move this part, nothing moves because this isn't moving. Okay, I'm going to go and orientate all my parts so that they're facing the right way, so I can do my constraints, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. Now you can see that I just orientated my parts in the direction that they're going to be constrained in. Now I don't think you have to do that, but I highly recommend it just because it's easier for you to keep track of where you're at and what you're doing. So now I'm going to go ahead and you can see I also constrained my wave onto the top, and this is what I called the form. I also constrained that to the top just using the planar constraints. I did use an offset with that. When I constrained this inside face with this outside edge, and it put it outside, so I used an offset. Let's see, I think it's right here. Yeah, there's my 0.25 offset to put it back away from that made constraint. So that's you already know how to do that. So now let's go ahead and look at this insert. So this particular insert is going to be on the top. Now this, I don't want this particular this axle, this rod, I don't want it to rotate. So I'm going to do a constraint which is right here. This constraint is called the fastened mate constraint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, I'll select it, and I'm going to click on this inside edge so that right. So I want it to highlight the top, and it's like a cylindrical constraint. So I want to make sure it's in the middle, which it is. You see that? It's in the middle, and I'm at that top edge. So I'm going to select that, and then over here on my hole in my box, I'm just going to select the hole, and it should place it right where it needs to be. Let's see if I say solve, you can see there that what it did is it placed that insert right into that hole with my inside lip touching the box. And if I try to move that, I can't. I cannot move it at all. It will not rotate. And that's going to give me a nice location for this 3-inch rider rod. Okay. Now this particular one here, this one I want to put in, and I want it to be able to rotate. So in this situation, what you're going to do is you're going to use this constraint right here. This is the revolute mate. That's going to be important. So this one that rotates is going to be the revolute mate, and we mate the same way we did before. We're going to click on that inside edge. Let me see if I can. Here we go. Right there, so that your indicator is up there on the top of where that circle is, on that edge there. And then we'll come back and we'll select the outside of the circle of the hole. And it's going to do the same thing it did before. And now the difference is that this one I can rotate. If I grab it, I can rotate it. So that's a revolute constraint. That one's right here. And this one is called the fastened mate. See the difference? Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do to put these axles in, all we have to do is we need 2 planar constraints. We need a planar constraint here. So I'll select that one, and I'll come over here and select this other side of the insert. So there's one, and then, we want to click the check mark, and then I'm going to move it away from there, so I can apply the second planar constraint here to here. Okay, and now, because I have 2 constraints on it, the only degree of freedom is 1. It can only go up and down. See that? If I grab it, I can move it up and down. Okay? I can't rotate it because this will not rotate, this will not rotate. It only has 1 degree of freedom, up and down. All right, I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm also going to do the same thing to the cam, and I'll be right back. All right, so now you can see what I've done is I did exactly the same thing I did with this one. When I put those 2 sides and mated them to the 2 sides of the insert, I did the same thing with this insert and this shaft, this rod, and I did the same thing with the cam, and I did a constraint between the faces of this rider here and this here. Now, if everything's done correctly, this rider will be able to go up and down. So just by grabbing it and moving it up and down, I can do it. This will rotate around the shaft. All right? Now, in order to get the cam and the rider synced together, what you're going to do is you're going to do a tangent constraint. And we're going to do a tangent constraint of this face with either this face or this outside edge. And you want to make sure you have a smooth curve here. And if you have a problem with this, it might be because your cam is bumpy and it gets stuck. So you may have to play with your cam a little bit to redesign it to get it to be smooth. You'll notice how I have nice smooth curves here. You could also maybe make this, instead of having a radius here, you can maybe have a point and use that edge to go along the face. You're gonna have to figure that out. In this case, it works pretty well for me. Let me use the tangent constraint, which is right here. This is the tangent constraint. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to select that round portion of my rider, and I'm going to select the face of my cam. And it should select the face all the way around. If it doesn't, you can just select the edge of the cam. Now watch what happens now when I turn my cam. When I turn my cam, the rider follows along. Okay, and that's exactly what you need it to do. All right, let's check this out. And one more thing here. As you're putting yours together. Now, let's say you want to see this work. You want to see it go up and down. If you look down here, all of the constraints we've made are under these mate features. if you look at the revolute constraint right there, the revolute. We want that to rotate. We can animate that constraint by right-clicking on it and selecting Animate. And it gives us this little box. It tells us where it's going to start, where it's going to end, and how many steps it's going to make. So if I go ahead and just play what it gives me, here's what happens. It's going to rotate. You can see the speed that it's going, what the degrees are. And you're going to want to do this with yours to make sure that your cam will rotate all the way around. And there it goes. You can see it's going up and down. And it made it through that top part just fine. Now, if you want this to go faster, you change this to a smaller number. Let's say we want it to go around 3 times. What would that be? 1080. And play it. It's going to go faster. Not going much faster, though, is it? Okay, let me make this 100. There we go. Woo, woo, woo. All right, so that's what you're doing, guys. So when you're successful, you should have your 2 cams attached to your square axle in the middle, your 2 riders, you have your inserts in, everything's working perfectly. And of course, the hard part is going to be to figure out how you're going to connect these riders to your forms in order to get them to work properly and to be able to rotate the way you want them to. All right. So check out the video after this one on how to share your assembly with me, and I look forward to seeing what you came up with.